Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Studios. We are live from the ET Retail's Great India Retail Summit 2024. I'm Himanshi Tiwari and today we've got someone truly inspiring joining us today. Please give a warm welcome to Priyanka Gill, venture partner at Kalaari Capital and group co-founder of the Good Glam Group. Priyanka, it's fantastic to have you here.
It's fantastic to be here. It's really good energy here at the conference.
Glad to know that. So Priyanka, you have transitioned recently from your active role in the daily operations of the Good Glam Group, and now you've joined Kalaari Capital, an early stage venture capital firm, as a venture partner. You also serve as a founding board member of Kalaari's CXSO initiative, right? So tell us more about it.
So Kalaari was my first investor more than 10 years ago. And I've known Vani now since that time. And she's one of my really strong mentors. She's really been there for PopXO, then for the Good Glam Group, and then of course for me personally as well. So once the PopXO merger with MyGlam happened, and it's been 3 years since, I really felt that we need to be kind of doing something differently. So in the middle of the pandemic, I remember calling up Vani and saying, hey, we need to do something more for women entrepreneurs. And that was the beginning of CXXO. So then over the pandemic, we started and then we launched that. I think it's 2 years ago now. And so I think life really does come full circle. So late last year, I was just talking to Vani and it really felt that it was time to do something and really put energy behind what I was so passionate about, which is really supporting entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs. And that's when joining Kalaari as a venture partner happened. And of course, I'll be overseeing the CXXO initiative as well. And it's super exciting because, of course, I remain co-founder of the Good Glam Group. And I'm here actually in that capacity today. Yeah. And I think it's a wonderful way to kind of carry on in what I am passionate about.
All right. So you have a lot of feathers on your hats, like PopXO, Plexo. So what is this XO all about?
So I think the first two were my doing. Okay. CXXO, I think it just happened and that was the name chosen and a bunch of people chose that name. But it does seem to kind of stick around with me a lot.
All right. And also we often hear a lot about the importance of representation and diversity in entrepreneurship. And Kalaari is basically doing that. So from your experience, what unique perspectives or strengths do women entrepreneurs bring to the table? Basically, I want to address the question once and for all, why do we need more women entrepreneurs?
So I think it's a very simple thing. And that is, you can't be who you can't see, right? So imagine that there are kind of young kids in a class. So for the boys in the class, there are many, many, many role models. They'll see someone, a man who's heading a company, a man who's starting another company. I mean, you literally look at all the kind of the spaces that are out there. Most of them are headed by men.
Yeah.
So for boys, even at that young formative age, they know, if he can do it, so can I. And then they have this kind of role modeling that's kind of really already built into kind of the way that they grow up. But for girls, that is not the case, right? So as a young girl who's sitting in a classroom somewhere wondering what she's going to be, what we need to do for her is kind of show her the path, and build out those role models for her. Yeah. And which is why representation matters. Right? Because you're really giving wings to the hopes and dreams of that young girl sitting in a classroom somewhere wondering who is she going to be.
Yeah.
So it is our job as women who are in business, as women who are trying to do and build something, is to be really visible about it. Because ultimately you can't be who you can't see. So then if some girl sitting in a class somewhere is seeing one of my peers do really well, she's like, hey, that woman did it and so can I.
Yeah.
So I think that's why representation matters. And even when you're kind of looking a little bit further beyond, you're looking in colleges and then you're looking at that girl, she's trying to decide what should she do, right? Yeah. So then if she's like, hey, I know this woman, she really kind of, Falguni Nair went and built a multi-billion-dollar company and she did it so well. So maybe business is something even I could do, right? And then she might then go for subjects that would kind of take her in that direction, or engineering, right? So again, it's a matter of representation. It's a matter of showing that visible path and inspiring the next generation. And if you don't do that, then who will? Yeah. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. I have a young daughter. She's 14 right now. I want to give her a world where everything is open to her. Whatever she wants to be in life, she can be, because she's seen other women do that really well. Yeah. So yeah, I think, and it's a great time to be doing this. Over the past few years, these conversations have begun to happen in every space that's out there. It's not just something that we women would talk about in a room somewhere and do nothing about it. We are vocal, we are out there, and we really want to make sure that we change it for the next generation.
Yeah. So, well, we have a great role model sitting right here with us, and building a startup that you have built so many now. It's quite a roller coaster ride, right? And it's filled with highs and lows. So how do you kind of ensure that women entrepreneurs have that necessary support system to build the startups at this scale?
Again, that is where the problem lies, right? So again, I'm just going back to imagine any IIT in the country right now, right? You'll have like 3 men who are kind of playing basketball or whatever they're doing something, or they're in a dorm room together, right? And one of them in the future will become a VC, right? One of them will be an entrepreneur who will have an idea, right? And then one of them will be a techie who can build whatever that idea this person has. So many years down the line, they can all get together and suddenly a startup is there. So these inbuilt support systems, these dorm room support systems that men automatically have, women don't have that, right? As women, we don't have those automatic we haven't gone through the IITs or the IIMs of the world where we have this immense peer support network that tomorrow, whatever I want to do in life, hey, I can just call up my buddy and say, hey, let's just do it together. So I think the job is then to replicate those support networks for women. And that is why something like CXXO is so important. And this is actually why CXXO was also put together. So we want to build out this network of support for women entrepreneurs who are there and tell them, hey, being an entrepreneur, male or female, is just hard, right? It is a roller coaster that doesn't end. And the day you realize that no matter good or bad, tomorrow is going to be a new day. I think that's very important. I was just watching the Shah Rukh Khan interview the other day. And he says on Thursday night before the movie releases, he just has a 2-hour shower and he's letting go of whatever that movie was. Whatever happens on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, good or bad is okay. And on Monday, he has to go and produce an even better film. So our job as entrepreneurs is just that. Today, you've done a funding announcement. The whole world is kind of singing your praises. The next morning, you go into work on Monday and sab kuch fata hua hai. Right? And then you kind of roll with it. So you realize that when you're celebrating, you celebrate in the moment, but knowing that tomorrow is going to be a different day. And if things are going really badly today, you also know kal theek ho jayega sab kuch. So you want to have that resilience that's built in, that's being an entrepreneur. So our job is to tell women, hey, this is the same for you. And whenever you are hitting that low spot, if you want someone to be there with you, we are there with you. Right? So they can reach out to us at CXXO and, hey, listen, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm doing this, I'm really struggling with this. What do I do? Whatever they need, we want to really help them out with that. And of course, our investee portfolio companies, we do that a lot as CXXO. But I think our job is to just replicate those dorm rooms all over and make sure that that same access is available to women, especially women who want to start up and be entrepreneurs in the future.
All right, great to hear that perspective from you. But please help us understand, how do you see the whole startup ecosystem evolving, to create more inclusive and support environments for women founders and employees? How do you see that happening in India right now?
I think, look, it's a global problem, right? And it's not just India. I mean, women are severely poorly represented pretty much across the globe, right from the funding dollars that go into women-led companies, which is less than 2 or 4%. It's really kind of low at that, right? But what is noticed is that the outcomes of women-led startups, despite the low funding, is considerably better than men-led startups on an average, right? So women do make great entrepreneurs and they do build lasting companies that create outsized value. But despite that, the funding dollars is actually not there. But the really good thing is, and what I'm heartened about is that these conversations are out in the open. I'm sitting here, for 15, 20 minutes, I'm talking to you exactly about that. This would not have been possible a few years ago. And there's also this pressure on not just performative signaling, but also for people to step up, right? It's no longer good to say, hey, we will consider women when we're kind of deciding who to fund. Funds have to put money behind women now, right? There is that societal pressure that it's almost there at the moment. And not just that, funds do really want to do the right thing now. It's not just something that's just good to kind of do for DEI or something like that, right? So I think because of that, there's a lot of, and also women are coming of age in kind of in spaces where they have authority and power. So we are seeing kind of this slowly snowball into something which I feel will be very positive in the long run. And I'm just hoping that this energy basically continues. And I don't see a reason why it shouldn't, but we are in a much better place than where we were a few years ago.
All right, on that note, what is that one advice you want to give to future or upcoming budding female entrepreneurs?
So I think I believe that if you have a vision, if you have a dream, you should go for it, right? And there'll be many people who will come at you and say, don't. You know, you're a mother, or who'll take care of your kids, or what will XYZ think? And all of that will happen.
Yeah.
But if you have something that you're passionate about, just go do it, right? And once you go for it, once you've started, don't stop. You know, I've been now, PopXO, the brand turns 10 this year. And so many times I could have just said, hey, ho gaya, you know, I could have stopped. And the reason why I'm here sitting next to you is because I chose not to stop, right? So if you want to do something, if you want to build something, just don't stop. Of course, you might not build exactly what you set out to do in the beginning, but you will build something of value, something that will be remembered.
Yeah.
So yeah, my simple message would be find your dream, find your passion, build for it. And once you start, just don't stop.
Yeah. Don't stop and keep swimming.
Absolutely. Right? And listen, and you know, the biggest joy of all of this is it's actually in what you learn and how you grow as a person. So tomorrow, if for me personally, if everything were to kind of go away, I'd still be really happy and satisfied that, hey, I've really enjoyed these past 10 years and the kind of the balance of it. I've learned so much, I've grown so much, and tomorrow I can go into anything else that I want. So I think that is the beauty of actually being an entrepreneur, that the learning actually becomes the most important thing that you gain out of it. Apart from, of course, everything else that does come.
All right. So we just got a beautiful advice from Priyanka Gill for all the budding female entrepreneurs. Lastly, Priyanka, we are here at the GIRS. How has been your experience so far, if you have any one takeaway?
I think it's fantastic. I think there's, as I said, great energy that's around here. And we spoke about you can't be who you can't say. So I think you guys give a wonderful platform to a lot of folks. And congratulations for that.
Thank you so much. Now, that's all we have for you on this episode of ET Studios. Stay tuned for many more exciting conversations where we give you the exclusive opportunity to gain valuable insights from the most influential retail leaders who are driving innovation and advancements in their industries. Until next time, thank you for watching.